everyone, John here from Fort Brewers, and I'm back with some more brewery beers from my cellar. And this time around, we're keeping it with 6 beers like we did last time. If you missed episode 1, go check that out. They were all like fun brewery variant beers made with crazy additions and stuff like that. So go check that out. Today we're keeping it a little more traditional as far as not having beers that have a lot of adjuncts or whatnot in them. They're just straight up barrel aged and blended beers. So the theme for this show is, they're all big, heavy beers, of course, but we're doing Black Tuesday, which everyone knows Black Tuesday, and then we're doing one of their anniversary beers, which is right here, called Bois, and we're doing variants of those beers. So we're doing Black Tuesday, and I believe this is from 2014, so I don't know how it's gonna be. It should be fine. Melange number 3 and Melange number 14, which are both beers that are made with Black Tuesday and other beers that the brewery makes. And I think 14 has other barrels that they don't really list. I'm not sure. I've got to look it up. And then we're doing Bois Fumé, which is a blend of bois and smoking wood. And we're also doing bois and smoking wood. So Black Tuesday, Melange 3, Melange 14, smoking wood, bois, and Bois Fumé. So let's get this started. Okay, so the first beer we're gonna do is Black Tuesday. Like I said, this beer is from 2014. This is the, let's see, this version is 19.7% alcohol by volume. This is their famously huge, like, bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. And this beer usually ages pretty well. So let's open this beer up, check it out. Okay, so this is coming in pitch black, obviously. It's got a caramel head on it that was pretty quick to burn off, which is not surprising. This is a big beer. And yeah, I can already smell it. I mean, I smell all kinds of booze and chocolate at the same time. So let's give it a whiff. So this is smelling pretty good. Obviously, it's gonna have some booze on there. Like, it's still pretty boozy. I think this beer could go even longer in the cellar, to be quite honest. But yeah, the first thing you get is a big whiff of booze on this, followed up by a very nice kind of milky dark chocolate kind of mixture on the chocolate. A toffee kind of thing too. A little bit of like the bourbon barrel character comes through. It's pretty mellow though, I think, unless I'm getting that bourbon in with the heat on the booze from the booziness. But yeah, for the most part, it smells really good. Nothing's wrong with this beer. It hasn't turned. It doesn't smell oxidized at all, which is always a plus. Yeah, it's holding up pretty well. Yeah, actually, now that I sniff it some more, you do get a slight sherry note from it, which is, it's a very, very mild oxidation kind of thing, and I think it works in this. So there is a little bit of oxidation on there, but it's more of a sherry character, which I think complements the beer. So let's see what it tastes like. Oh, wow. That's pretty smooth. Once again, you get that heat, man. You can feel it going down. It's got a great mouthfeel. I feel like it's a bit over-carbed. It's a little prickly to me, but it's really sticky. Mouth coating, but also finishes pretty dry, and it gets out of the way. It doesn't linger all that much, but you can taste it on your lips. It's a very rich, thick beer. And boy, is it boozy. This could definitely sit longer in the cellar. This is a 2014, so for being 4 years old, I mean, it's doing really well. A little bit of that sherry comes through on the flavor too. A little bit of chocolate, I guess, but for me, it's mostly that barrel character, the booziness, and that sherry chocolate kind of thing. It's tasting fantastic. This is doing very well. I have so many bottles of Black Tuesday. I don't even know how many I have. So there's one beer I'm happy I do have a lot of in my cellar. It's Black Tuesday. It's a hype beast, and rightly so, because it's a great beer. So let's move on to the next beer. By the way, I forgot to show the label for Black Tuesday. That's the Black Tuesday label right there, in case you wanted to see it. It's black. It's Black Tuesday. Okay, so up next is Melange number 3. This beer is a beer blended with Black Tuesday, white oak sap, and their anniversary ales. And they don't really specify on the label, nor do they specify online which anniversary ales it's blended with. I think this is probably their most popular of the Melange series of beers. And I've had it before, and it's a great beer. This is 16.8%, so it's a diluted Black Tuesday. Let's open it up, check it out. All right, so this beer comes off kind of a dark burgundy, I would say, dark brown burgundy kind of color. There are some floaties in there. I'm not sure what that is. That's weird. Maybe it's yeast. Is it bottle conditioned? I don't know. But yeah, it looks really nice. It's got a kind of a toffee head on it. Got some red edges. You can't really pick it up on camera, but it's a pretty beer. You can't see through it. It's kind of cloudy and dark, but yeah, looks good. Let's see what it smells like. Okay, so I get a little bit of oxidation on this. This is a 2013. I don't know if I mentioned that. So it's 5 years old, so you're gonna get some oxidation on these beers that are older. It just comes with the territory. But it's not bad. It's I kind of like it. It gives it kind of a it's not bready, but like it's a sherry toasty kind of thing. I don't know. It's weird. I can't really describe what I'm thinking in my head when it comes to what the sherry note is doing to this, but I like it. It's not bad. It's a compliment to the aroma. A lot of caramel and toffee in there. That's really nice. A little bit of chocolate in there too, surprisingly. It smells sweet also. I know you can't smell sweet, but it smells sweet. I do get a Black Tuesday essence from it, which is really interesting. It's kind of like a more toffee, sweeter smelling version of Black Tuesday. Smells really good. It's holding up very well, I think. For being 5 years old, it's doing good. So let's see what it tastes like. This is really good. Again, it's got some heat on there, but it's not as big as Black Tuesday was. Really sticky, loads and loads of caramel toffee, like on the flavor, like really, really big time. It's more viscous than Black Tuesday. It's got a better level of carbonation. It's a little less carbed, which is what I want. It's not as prickly. Kind of getting a little bit of a, like a dark cherry kind of thing too, like a Coca-Cola, cherry Coca-Cola kind of thing. Which is nice. It strikes me as a tartness, like a perceived tartness. This is not tart, this is not infected. But when I think of cherry Coca-Cola, I think of tart cherries and the way cherries taste. And I don't know, I feel like something's happening to the side of my tongue. Nothing's happening. It's just all in my head. But really good beer, man. So far, this is the winner. Like this is awesome. I really think this beer has peaked. Man, and the residual sweetness too. It just this beer lingers. Like you get this nice residual sweetness. White oak sap. If you've never had it, I believe I don't know if they've ever bottled it. They've had it at the brewery. Maybe they've bottled it. I don't know. It's a wheat wine that the brewery makes, and from my knowledge, it's a beer that they made specifically for blending. And then one day they just released it so you can see what it tastes like. It's a low hopped beer, but it's a wheat wine that's like really sweet, and you get a lot of those characteristics in this. This basically cuts down the chocolate on the Black Tuesday and adds more of like I said, a toffee caramel kind of thing. So excellent beer. But like I said, I think it's peaked. You definitely want to open this, I think, right now, because I don't think it's going to get any better. The heat might tone down a little bit. You might get a little more of that sherry note, but so far, this is great. So let's move on to the next beer. Okay, so next up is Melange number 14. This is, let's see, this is 13.4% alcohol by volume. It's 85% ale aged in bourbon barrels and 15% imperial stout. So 15% of this blend is not aged in barrels. And from what I read on Untapped, this is a blend of their two versions of Black Tuesday, which I think they're talking about Black Tuesday and So Happens It's Tuesday. And So Happens It's Tuesday is like basically a lower ABV version of Black Tuesday. They're Share This beer. And I know Share This is a beer that they change from time to time. Like sometimes they have coffee. One time they did an Orange County version, I think, that had orange in it. So I'm not sure. It's kind of vague on what they're talking about, but that's what it is. Anyway, this is a 2016 edition of Melange number 14. So it's fairly new in terms of my cellar. So let's open it up, check it out. Okay, so this is a very pretty beer. It's I guess it's black or maybe dark brown. I can't really tell, but that head is lingering. I like to see that. It's a nice creamy khaki head on there. That just looks delicious. Wow. So I don't think I've ever had this beer before, so this is my first time trying it. So let's see what it smells like. All right, this basically smells like, I guess, Black Tuesday light, if you want to call it that. I get a lot of the same characteristics, a chocolate character, a slight booziness from it, even though it's, what, 6% alcohol by volume lower than Black Tuesday. But yeah, and I get a very slight sherry character on it. I get more barrel character on this than I did from the last two, like more of an actual like bourbon wood kind of character, not like a bourbon character, but like the actual barrel character, which is nice. Comes off a little bit like vanilla. It's very, very subtle. There's some kind of fruity thing happening in there that I can't quite pick out. Yeah, I can't, it's like I want to say it's like a white grape kind of thing. I don't know. But basically it smells like Black Tuesday light. This is a great smelling beer. This is an awesome beer. So at least on the aroma. Let's see what it tastes like. Wow. Ooh. All right, that's weird. That's really kind of biting. What's the word I'm looking for? It comes off very astringent. Like it dries up really fast. And it's got like this kind of, it bites your tongue kind of thing. And it's not pleasant. It doesn't, I don't know. I'm not digging the flavor on this one. Yeah, this, oh man, I had such high hopes for this beer. Yeah, and it lingers, man. Yeah, so this smells pretty good. Like I said, it smells basically like Black Tuesday light. But as far as the flavor goes, oh God, it's still lingering. The mouthfeel on this is, I guess it's fine and the carbonation's fine, but that astringency dries it out so much that it's not pleasant to drink. So for me, so far, this is the worst. I think I have another bottle of this too, so it might actually just go down the drain because this is not good. So this to be expected though. It's okay. They can all be winners. So let's move on to the next beer. Okay, so up next is Bois Fumé or Fumé. I'm not French. I don't know how to speak French. That's the closest I can get to speaking what this label is. This is 16.2% alcohol by volume. And like I said, this is a blend of their anniversary beer, Bois and Smoking Wood. So I guess it'd be kind of cool to do these side by side, but we're not going to do that. This is from 2014. Yeah, there's the label, just so I don't forget. I've done a review on this beer before. Go search for it. It's when I was bigger, and I don't encourage you to watch it because I was embarrassed about how I look in that video, but if you want to go watch it, you can do that. Anyway, let's open this up, check it out. Ooh, I can already smell that. All right, so this beer is very, very dark. Again, a dark burgundy kind of color on the edges. It's not cloudy. It's just very, very dark. It's got a thin, it's a thin khaki head that dissolves pretty quickly. Again, it doesn't come through on camera all that well. But it's a pretty beer if you hold it up against like a lighter surface like this table. So yeah, let's give it a whiff. Oh. All right, so this, I love this beer. This beer smells like bourbon barrel aged stout with barbecue, like smoked barbecue. It's a fantastic smelling beer. The first thing I think of is I did a collaboration with my friend Carlos, who owns Big G's Barbecue out here in the Inland Empire. And we smoked some meat on his smoker, and I smoked some malts at the very top of his smoker. And that's what this smells like. It smells like smoked malts and meat. Like, it smells amazing. Yeah, dude, that wood barrel character, and I don't know. Yeah, aged in bourbon barrels. It comes through big time. Like, the smoke, it brings the wood out like so much more. And then the bourbon character kind of reminds you of Black Tuesday, kind of. Even though it might be like some kind of weird variant kind of thing of Black Tuesday. I doubt it. I don't know. But smells fantastic. If you like smoked beers, this is perfect because it's not too smoky. It's more of a smoked barbecue kind of thing. It's awesome. So let's see what it tastes like. Yeah, it tastes like it smells. This tastes like smoked barbecue, basically. Like, it's not big, it's more of a rich, smoky kind of thing. It does linger on your palate, like you can breathe in the smoke in and out kind of thing. Yeah, this is a really good beer. I mean, if I myself, I'm not too big on like heavily smoked beers like Shangri-La or whatever, that are just peat forward beers. This is perfect though. This, like I said, this is like barbecue in a glass. That's pretty much what it is. Like, it reminds me actually of summer and barbecuing, even though it's more of a beer you'd want to drink, you know, in the fall or winter. So really, really good. For a bourbon barrel aged beer, this is crushable. This is really, really good. Great mouthfeel. Carbonation's nice. It's not a heavy beer by any means, but the carbonation mouthfeel balance is really, really good, and it's lighter on the palate. I think if it were heavier, it would be a disservice to this beer, because then you've got like this really heavy, smoky thing happening, and that's not fun. So I think this beer is pure perfection from the brewery. They did a great job on this beer. It's fantastic. So we're going to break down the two component beers to this beer, which is Bois, which is an anniversary beer, and Smoking Wood, which is, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's the other beer that's in this. So let's try those out now. Okay, so up next is one of the component beers for Bois Fumé, and this is Smoking Wood. This is a smoked imperial rye porter aged in rye whiskey barrels. That just sounds amazing. 13% alcohol by volume. And this is from 2014. So there's the label on Smoking Wood. This is one of my favorite labels from the brewery. Like, it looks kind of like wood and fire, and yeah, it's very pretty. Anyway, let's open it up, check it out. All right, this beer is darker than I thought it would be. I don't know why. It's a porter, but I mean, it's on the dark side of a porter, I think. It almost looks like a stout. It's got a pretty nice khaki head on there that it lingers a bit, I guess. It looks nice though. This looks more like a stout than a porter, but I mean, they're pretty similar to one another. So let's see what it smells like. Okay, so comparing this to Bois Fumé. Bois Fumé was more of like a barbecue smoked kind of beer. That's the feeling I got when I would smell and drink it. This smells like smoked wood. Like, it's a very subtle smoky beer. I think you're getting on the aroma a lot of like chocolate and richness from the aroma, with a little bit of like a smoke vibe, I guess you could say. A little bit of a vanilla thing comes through along with like a little bit of a sherry oxidized kind of aspect. Overall, this smells really good though. Like, this is holding up fantastically. Yeah, this is really, really good. And for some, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of smoked beers, and the brewery, even the collab they did with Beechwood Barbecue a few years back called Mrs. Stoutfire, their smoked beers are always very subtle with the smoke. It's not like a peat malt kind of thing where, like, if you drink a peat malt, you know, beer like peat malt whiskey, it's really, really heavily like smoky. Like, it almost smells like you're smelling a piece of burning wood. And this isn't like that. This is a good balance between the smoke and the malt characteristics, I think, on the aroma. So Awesome nose. Let's see what it tastes like. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Fuck, that's good. All right, that's like chocolate wood and smoke, dude. Oh, this might be the winner of the day. Again, I think the smokiness on this compared to Bois Fumé, it tastes more smoky. It's not that barbecue thing though. This tastes like charred wood, I think. The way charred wood smells, I think, is how this tastes, if that makes any sense. Like when I think of, I don't know, burnt like wood at a campfire, that smell is what I'm getting on the flavor on this. Really, really good. Great mouthfeel. Maybe a little bit of a sherry thing, but again, so far with these beers, the sherry aspect, the oxidation aspect of these beers, it's all complementary. Like it just works, and I kind of want that in the beer. This is excellent. Yeah, it's a really chewy beer. Has like the mouthfeel and oh, so good. This beer has held up fantastically. I think I have a couple more bottles of this too. Actually, when I took this off the shelf, I saw another one on the floor and I put it in its place on the shelf, which is, it shows how much of a problem I have with my brewery beer collection. So I'm glad I have this. As it sits, I do get a little bit of like this weird sweetness. I'm not sure what it is, but I mean, it's great. This is a wonderful beer. I'm so happy I bought this beer. This is such a great show so far. Like these beers are all fantastic. So let's move on to the last beer. Okay, we're here with the final beer. This is Bois. This is one of the anniversary beers from the brewery from 2013. I think they did 2 or 3 different wood variants of this. This is the bourbon barrel variant because everything else we're doing is bourbon barrel aged. This is 15% alcohol by volume. And their anniversary beers are typically blends of their past anniversary beers with a new, newly brewed or barrel-aged beer. I forgot what they call it. You can tell me in the comments what it's called. The word is escaping my brain. But yeah, so this is Bois from 2013. There's the label. I have all the wood variants too. I guess it would have been fun to open all the wood variants, but I can't drink everything. So let's open this up and check it out. All right, so this is, again, on the darker side, red hues, very pretty, dark caramel, burgundy kind of red thing happening. A little bit of cloudiness going on. It's an off-white, I'd say. Yeah, it's a khaki, darker khaki head, I guess. Big alcohol legs on this too. Like I'm just looking at the alcohol streaking down the sides of the glass. That's kind of amazing. Let's see what it smells like. Okay, so this is holding up great on the nose. Oxidation is manifesting itself, which is to be expected. This is a 5-year-old beer, and again, it's complementary to the aroma on this. But this is basically caramel and toffee. As far as I know, their anniversary beers are old ales. I could be wrong. They may change it up. But if my memory serves me correctly, I think their anniversary beers are blends of different old ales. So this is holding up fantastic. I still get a little bit of heat on the nose, which is fine. It's a bigger beer. It's 15%. A little bit of vanilla coming through too. I think the barrel character shows well on this. The bourbon is, I don't want to call it well hidden, but it's not very apparent. I think the whole beer is very well done on the nose. Like there's nothing that is really overpowering anything else, and it's just a fantastic beer as far as on the nose goes. So let's see what it tastes like. I don't know about the flavor on this one. Wow, that's sweeter than I thought it would be. Woo! Yeah, and it's got an astringency to it. God, I'm feeling these beers. Yeah, this doesn't taste nearly as good as it smells. That hurts. Yeah, it's like a sweet, astringent kind of puckery thing. It dries out your tongue very quickly. Unfortunately, this is not holding up on the flavor for me. it's difficult to drink. I guess going back for a second sip, it's not as bad, but that initial sip was just sticky and dry, I think. Yeah, I mean, and these beers, I think they brew them with the intent of aging them in a cellar. And, like I said, they can't all be winners, and this is definitely not a winner, but it's also not a loser. Like, it's okay, but I think it's peaked, definitely, and it's on its way down, actually, right now. So, I still have plenty of bottles of this, and I'm going to hang on to them. I'm not going to dump these. Like, the whole idea of saving these beers for, I don't know, some anniversary celebration for the brewery. Like, when do you open these beers? Who knows? Maybe, I guess their 10-year anniversary would have been a good time, but that's come and gone. Maybe their 20th anniversary. I don't know. But this beer, I think, is on its way down the hill, and it's ready to be opened. So overall, this was really fun. I think the clear winner for me was Smoking Wood, and what was the other one? Melange No. 3 was really good. If you got those beers, I would definitely open them right now. I don't think you should let them sit any longer because they're tasting great. But overall, you got to hand it to the brewery, man. They make solid beer. If you watch the previous episode with the beers that have like the adjuncts and stuff, yeah, that stuff doesn't hold up well in a cellar. It's meant to be drank fresh. But the beers that are traditional and just barrel aged and blended, they hold up pretty well. So thanks for watching. I'm really enjoying doing this. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to plow through these beers and hopefully make some room in my cellar for some more Bottle Logic beers. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.